Welcome everyone to the Watchlist, your virtual weekly TV guide right here in the Latiners Network, ready to go over all the shows, documentaries, movies released on streaming over the past week. Give you best recommendations or non-recommendations as the case may be. And of course, at the end of the show, letting you know what's coming out so you too can create your very own watch list. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. We're here every Sunday to let you know what there is to watch because there's always something to watch. I don't care what anybody says. And of course, joining us is the co-host, Senor Jaime, aka Chewy. What it is, what it was, what it shall be.
What up, brother? What's going on? 2 months. 2 months.
2 months. World Cup. There we go. Sorry. I was thinking, what's in 2 months? I was like, can't believe this here.
May, June, close enough. April, May, whatever.
Exactly. I get it. And which, and it's a nice day out here. And it's a very sunny day in DC. What up? Mr. Styles coming in town, which leads us to fantasy in a few months as well. So it's all coming together here.
But yes. I didn't pay attention to the draft. I'm like, let's get to the. I'm not going to worry about it. But I drafted too many rookies last year, costly.
I'm just saying it starts at the draft, and there's players that I'm sure are worthy. It's the beginning, right? Whatever.
I mean, I got to figure out who my keeper's going to be. That's for sure.
Exactly. So that said, until then, there's a lot of stuff to watch and discuss, which we'll get to. But of course, in the mortal words of Boyz II Men, it's hard to say goodbye to yesterday. And that said, we have in memoriam for a couple of passings in the world of streaming. Of course, starting with two shows. Gen V is no longer going to be getting another season. That was officially canceled by Amazon. And the Copenhagen test on Peacock also got the axe, of course.
Copenhagen wasn't bad. I'm not surprised by it.
Yeah, Copenhagen was a solid show. Came out for it was a decent season. I was looking forward to a second one, but whatever, it happens. I'm not gonna say I'm sad about that one completely, but Gen V, I guess, shouldn't be surprised, right? I mean, about that. I don't know.
I just don't know what happened with that. I mean, I enjoyed it. I actually like season 2.
I just think it's so tied into the boys and the boys finishing. I
think that's why, right? The boy finishes. There's really no. Well, how it finishes, you could always extend it, but we're assuming some things.
Right, but they tied in the show so much into the boys, particularly second season. I just don't see how you want to keep the other. It just didn't make sense. We're still waiting for those characters to show up in the boys.
Yeah, no, because they were there in part of the season 4 a little bit, and obviously with the Gen V season 2, it was basically all mixed together. It was like the boys 4.5 essentially.
Basically, exactly.
Right.
So I'm curious.
And
I don't know.
Now it's like, okay, they're a year later, and they're just gone like the wind, dude.
I thought the trailer showed them, so I'm thinking if they're gonna show, they gotta show up soon because they got to set that up. I don't want to show them the last episode. It's just weird.
But there's only 4 episodes left, so
that's what I'm saying. If you haven't seen Gen V, it's gonna be kind of awkward just to throw them in the last episode.
Yeah.
Like, who the hell these guys? So I don't know. But whatever, those two were canceled. It is what it is. But we all get another spinoff.
Maybe they show up in Boys Mexico. Hey man, a little Latin flavor, a little Latino flavor, baby. Yeah.
Soldier Boy taking it south of the border.
With Gary Busey.
He'll be Gary Busey, and he'll be deporting Mexicans back, as everyone does. Every single president does, and people get mad because Trump. They all do it. We all get scammed by every single president of the United States. It is what it is. People start crying about it. It's been going on forever. That said, actually, we talk about one show that ended, which we really enjoyed, Invincible, season 4, which I thought was really good season. It finally ended its run. True, your thoughts on the finale? Whether it was satisfying or not?
The season as a whole was greatly satisfying. Tight story. A lot of action. Left a lot of strings to be pulled yet, right? And so looking forward to what's going to happen there. We got 2 characters who got left in another dimension. All of a sudden, they're gone.
Yeah, no, they're hardly back.
But obviously, there was a bigger fish to fry, right? I mean, okay, that was secondary to the main storyline, right? But, I think it was great. It was just overall, just loved it. So many great voice actors on that show. It's just ridiculous how much talent is on the show. Never mind how the show looks and feels. But favorite animation by far. It's great. Looking forward to next season and hopefully beyond. But there's still a lot of story to tell.
Well, it's what. Well, before I get to that, yeah, definitely. Like, it's funny because I felt a little anticlimactic to the last 10 minutes, and it really came together in the end. So I thought that was really cool.
Which one? The seventh or eighth? You're talking about the eighth episode.
The very last, yeah, the finale.
Okay, okay.
Just episode itself, where I was like, okay, all right, well, we're going with this. I expected a little bit more, and we kind of did get that in the end. I was like, oh, okay, it all kind of came.
Oh yeah,
together.
yeah, we got that surprise, right?
Yeah, obviously with the deal made between Invincible and Jack Freddie Mercury. So I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, listen, it ended really well. I'm looking to really
hey
for the
man,
next one.
say what you say, man. He's like the alpha man, because ain't no one. I mean, he just tore Thaddeus up, literally, head off, man. Like Jesus Christ.
He's invincible. I'm not talking about him.
Yeah, no shit, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, I know they talked about them trying to get 9 seasons, which I think is too much. The showrunners, anyway, not Prime necessarily, not Amazon Prime.
Well, I mean,
that's too much for any show. It's 6 at best. I'm thinking 2 more, and let's try to wrap this up. To be honest with you, 9's a lot for any show. It's just too much.
I mean, it is, if there's story there, I have no issue with that. I mean, we had 7. We had 7 of Game of Thrones. Was it 8, 7, whatever?
And that would be 2 seasons too long.
But
clearly.
but that was not because of lack of story. That was just the double D's and they're choosing to go action over substance, right? And the direction they chose to tell that story. That's what was the issue. Not that it was, this is getting boring. It's the same thing over and over again.
Well, I know, but
it's not. And with this, obviously, within the comic itself, obviously they're about 30% of what they've shown as far as what they pulled from the comic itself, which is not a whole lot, right? So I mean it's kind of like One Piece, right? I mean you have how many? I mean, I just did a quick check just for shits and giggles, and there's like 33 seasons of the anime. I was like, damn, that's still ongoing. So you can have something that continues and people still love it if the story stays fresh, relevant, and original and entertaining. Right, so whether they can do 9 seasons, there's enough material apparently. Can they do it well? That's a different story, right? Because all of a sudden, maybe it starts getting repetitive, right?
That's what I'm saying. And we've seen it. Even like Rick and Morty is kind of taking a dip.
Well, but sure. I mean, like, but also,
is it still fine? Just still good? Sure.
But well, I will say that once they wrapped up the evil Morty storyline, then it definitely went south, right? Because that drove not Evil Morty and the Rick Prime, right? Because that was wrapped up so anticlimactic. That's anticlimactic. It was like second episode, he's dead. It's like, okay.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Because it showed like if that would end at 5th season, 6th season, we're like,
but that's different because that is they're getting together, they're writing story every season. This is pulling from something that's already been established for
Walking Dead. How about that?
100. Well, but okay, yeah, we don't want Walking Dead. No.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? And it seems like every show, right? If it goes too long, it's never as good. That's and there's not a show that says 10 seasons and they're all great. That doesn't exist. It just doesn't.
I mean, short of soap operas, right? Which are like
but
30
plus different, right? And if you want to say this,
you can't help but regurgitate old storylines when you go for that.
There's always so much you do, right? Yeah, The Simpsons, but that got stay after like 10 years, and
well,
how
about South Park? How long has that been on? And still, is it still as it's? I mean. Has it dropped below that line where it's like irrelevant? No, absolutely not. I mean, you're on this long.
Relevant, but even that show relies a lot of.
Well, it's comedy. It's comedy. It's not
right. What's going on in the world? It's self-reflecting and it's very satirical. So there's a lot of stuff to mind that's current that people will get into.
Well, yeah.
So it's not quite this. Invincible's not that. And most shows aren't that per se. But listen, I think 9 is too much. I get what he's saying. I think it's too high. I don't know if Amazon allows it, to be honest with you. It's a lot.
Well, I mean, it starts getting expensive, right? I mean,
well, for sure. So it's like I think give it 2 seasons, just wrap the main storyline and leave it be. But let's see. You never know. Maybe it just one breaks the mold and it's great and whatever. I mean, like I said, even the boys. The boys ending at 5. You think they could have gone 10 years and you would have watched it? Probably.
No, because
or 6 years or 7 years. I mean, it could have. Of course, you could. The boys. You wouldn't
watch. Well, we got 5. You got technically, if you throw in Jet B, we got 7, right? Technically,
Yeah, I'm just saying. Just look at the boys. I would have seen 7, 8 seasons, but I mean, would that have been a good idea? Probably not. I think ending at 5 at its peak out. That's a good way to wrap up a show and with respect.
I'm more
Ultimately,
story driven. If there's story there and it's still as it
well, like I
doesn't
said,
do the quality doesn't diminish, it doesn't get boring, then I'm all for it.
you were all
Right.
for it, but it's hard. It's easier
How
said than
long?
done. Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you come put it to other dramas maybe, because this is more drama than animated, right? I mean,
Oh,
honestly,
for sure. Yeah,
I
this is
mean,
just
and
a
if you
drama,
look at the
whatever.
ones
Right?
that have
Yeah.
been on forever, they were on for long time. I mean, how many seasons of ER did we get?
Different
Uh,
times, different kind of shows.
well,
At the end of the day,
okay,
yeah.
but it can be done, right? It's not like it can't be and it can't stay relevant, whether it's 9 seasons or 7 seasons or whatever, you know, or
I'm just
beyond
saying
that.
quality wise. Like I don't want to see an aging Muhammad Ali at the end of the day, right? Or a 40-year-old Michael Jordan in the Wizards. You don't want to see that. Does he still play? He's a draw, of course.
I don't
But
know,
we
man.
want,
You get a
but
40,
we
40 year old
want.
LeBron. It's
Well,
still up there. It's still up there.
he's still out
There
there,
is
but
the exception.
no, he's everybody's tired of LeBron James. Who are we kidding?
Oh, stop it, dude. Stop it.
That guy gets more
Stop,
hate than
stop
any.
being on LeBron, dude.
I'm not.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not me personally. I'm saying he gets a lot of hate. Let's be honest
Well,
about
I
it.
mean, but that goes up.
I,
That's true. I mean, we're in the era where it's easier to hate than to appreciate
well,
greatness, right? And then
for
when he's gone, it's
sure.
like everyone will say, "Oh, they'll put him on that pedestal after there's no more hate." And it goes. Every great athlete goes through that. I mean, come on. Um,
I don't know if every great
eh,
athlete goes to that, but I mean, people forget
well,
how things ended up.
even Jordan went. I mean, the whole, the gambling, the baseball.
Nobody
Uh,
cared about. I mean, it was different times. If I think in social media days that would
well,
have been different.
if you look at the time
You
of
know,
social media, it'd probably been way different, right?
that's
It
what I'm
would have
saying. It would
been
have been different. So it's
a
hard to
much
compare
bigger deal.
Jordan. Yeah, just because he wasn't around for that scrutiny, really, the public,
Luckily,
right?
luckily for him.
Right. It's different times. So I get that. So, but whatever. Either way, we're straying off here. But let's focus on. Let's go back to this week's show. This week's stuff. A lot of stuff to go. We'll go as quickly as possible here. Here we got MGM, who I actually read up on this. Is actually the biggest streamer, right behind Apple, Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, Paramount, AMC,
You're such a jackass, dude.
Tubi, whatever. But
No,
it's right
I'm sure
there.
it's better than Tubi, dude. Come on.
Just kidding. We got From dropping its season 4 horror series. Like I said, I don't have MGM, so I never really watched it. I know you're a fan of it, and it's done pretty well for them.
Yeah,
Chewy,
yeah.
I assume one episode dropped. Just gives a quick little, yay or nay on this one.
I mean, absolutely, yay! It started better than last season. I think they have an endpoint where they're taking this story, right? And so now they're wrapping it up, right? I think there's one more season after this, so it's time to tie up loose ends, bring the story to conclusion, and bring it to a satisfying conclusion, hopefully.
No, okay. Yeah, like I said, I heard good things about it. I know it's a really cool show. Like that's the one if it shows up one day, like on Netflix or something down the road, I'll probably definitely go jump on it and watch it. And speaking of Netflix, the next one here is Unchosen. This one here, AJ Butterfield is the big name in this one. This is you got I guess some sort of cult, I guess, religious cult. People living in this small,
I
small.
don't know, cult, maybe.
It's a strong word, but I mean,
Yeah.
the basic definition, it's a cult, but it's not the cult in the way you think of cults. It's not Waco or whatever. Right? But either way, religious community, if you will, very religious community, and with the Butterfield's wife is kind of questioning her place there, and then one day they come across an escaped prisoner who ends up saving their daughter, and now he's hiding out in there. She's hiding him out, and they develop a relationship, and apparently all hell breaks loose. I don't know. Chew, your thoughts on this limited series?
Middle of the road. It's okay. You can probably skip it and not feel bad about it. Really, it's just not bad, but it's not good. Like I said, meh.
Yeah, this is definitely Unchosen. I wouldn't choose this for anybody. It's I don't know. It's dull. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really dull, and there's just I give it 2 episodes, and I couldn't not get into it. It was disinteresting at the end of the day, right? Just okay, the drama wasn't there. It's like, what are we doing here? I don't know. It didn't hit at all. So this is one you guys should pass on this one for sure. Criminal Record dropped its second season on Apple Plus. I like the first season. This is kind of your classic BBC-ish police procedural. Young woman young officer or detective who's dealing with an older detective who's a little bit lives in the gray area, works in the gray area.
I don't know. I think it's beyond the gray. I mean,
We'll be. I mean, he's not like a
he's
complete
not.
bad guy, but
he's not gangs of London, but I mean, it's
Right.
like,
He's
you
kind of in
know,
between. He kind of sways the line, but he's more dark than white at the end of the day, right?
yeah,
But nonetheless, season two, but now she's got a new case of a terrorist, potential terrorist. Obviously there was an incident at a rally and someone got killed, and now she's investigating and runs across yet the same guy again who has a vested interest in the murder anyway. And I won't spoil it, but it was interesting. The ending there. At least I enjoyed the show. It's a good show. This is still good. I liked it. It's not a great show, but if you like a solid police procedural,
oh yeah,
this
it's
is a
solid.
good one. Yeah, it's definitely a
Yeah.
solid. That for sure is Apple, so it's well produced, it's well made. I'm enjoying it. I recommend this one. Chewy.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There's probably going to be six of these type of shows. But, I'm enjoying it. Like I said, I love British police procedurals, and this has a different twist because now with the
Not a
he's
great.
definitely involved with some elements. He's not doing crimes, but he's now on the up and up.
Right, exactly. He covers up more of his fellow officers who may be corrupt.
Yeah, yes, that
you know,
absolutely
right?
yes.
So we live, again, the gray area for the most part. But yeah, it's a good show, solid show. Then dropping this first episode the Wednesday comes out a weekly release. Next one on Netflix, we got Hulk Hogan, the Real American, 4-part documentary about, of course, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, WWF, WWE, Hulk Hogan, the Hulkster, and WO, the Wolf, all that. Obviously this is interviews from a lot of people who knew him, including Hulk Hogan's his last interview before he passed away last year. Two, your thoughts on this one? I'm kind of curious to see what you thought about this.
I mean, it was a lot of fluff to say the least. Um, and like I said, you want to do a puff piece on the guy, have at it, but don't call it a documentary. It's just not right. Uh, they really stayed away. I mean, they spent some time on some things, but kind of
They
just
did.
glossed over and moved on,
To
right?
be fair, they did address him, some of the issues and controversies for sure.
But I mean,
Not deeply.
a
Yeah.
minute out of an
No, I
hour,
mean
it's
not
not really
deeply.
addressing.
Sure, not
Yeah.
deeply.
So that's what I said. Like I said, they glossed over. I'm curious that that daughter wasn't part of this for whatever reason. Like they had she had maybe two recordings, voicemails in the last episode, third episode. And that was it. Like, huh. Okay, I'm not sure if they had fallen out or what happened, but I mean, obviously his son was still part of his life and was there at the end.
Yeah.
Um, but the daughter was like MIA essentially.
Yeah, I heard
Like,
they have that kind of strange situation.
yeah.
Unsurprisingly, I guess.
Well, like I said, I didn't follow too closely after some of the issues, and so like whatever. And even recently, I was like, okay, whatever. I mean, he's past the time. Good skull waiting. I
Yeah,
know you gotta
listen,
make money, but damn.
It's such a tricky thing because you think what you will and it's fair one way or another. But in terms of just the in-ring persona, the guy who's so cool, I mean, he was the guy, right? I mean,
I like how they brought in that director, Werner Herzog, right? And he kind of laid it out best, right? Where the persona all of a sudden starts becoming the person, right? I think it
mhm,
was in the third episode.
yeah,
Maybe part of the I can't remember. I'm getting confused, but he kind of really eloquently, put it really well artistically, where you're a person, but then you become the persona, and then you start losing. Where is the line between the character and the person itself, right?
mhm,
And you literally start becoming. You think you are that character, right?
right.
you
Of
kind
course, I
you
mean,
kind of lose yourself.
after 20
Uh,
years, I mean, can you blame? You know what I'm saying? I get it, right? It's a long time. I mean,
I wonder. I mean, not. It's not about blame. It's like it's just you think you are that
of course, yeah. I
that
mean, yeah, it gets
and
hard.
the whole like I said. Remember we were in the '80s and it was like eat your vitamins. Break
Say
down
your
all this other stuff. And
prayers.
it was like
Yeah,
that. It was just. And now you look at it, it's like it was just BS because it was just this guy he's saying was eating vitamins and his vitamins were steroids.
well, listen, he didn't say what vitamins. He just said vitamins. Just saying.
You say, what
Um,
kind of vitamins?
vitamins is vitamins. You're going to label somebody.
So like say, it wasn't controversial. I mean, for the first part, half of his career, it wasn't controversial, right? He was just a character,
Sure.
right?
Right.
And once you start seeing the person, when you start doing the reality TV, and you're like, you start, well, maybe, it's one thing to admire the characters, another thing to try to admire the person itself, where they're
Of
not,
course,
they
yeah.
don't, the connectivity between it is like make believe and what's real life.
I mean, you separate the art from the artist, and you have to sometimes. 'Cause let's not
Yeah, in
kid
some
ourselves.
cases you do, unless what
Yeah.
they do is so bad that you can't separate.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, there's
Yeah.
gonna be a line, of course. I don't know if he really crossed that. I mean, whatever. Maybe he did, but not to that degree that he didn't kill
No, no,
anybody or
well, no,
anything
he
like that,
didn't. He
right?
didn't. Like I said, he
Yeah.
didn't kill anybody.
Right.
No,
Yeah. Let's not
he,
over. But I don't
he,
think
he
that
did
should.
some things. Okay, he did
Sure.
some for it. Probably not, but whatever. People like to just simply dismiss that stuff sometimes because they want to believe in the character, right?
Sure.
Not the person. And so that's what they admire, right?
Of course, I think
Um,
yeah, and you shouldn't dismiss the good because of the bad. You know, what I'm saying? And it goes both ways. Or
yeah,
dismiss the bad because of the good, right? They're both worthy of discussion. I think the documentary
yeah.
they focus on the good. And I think Triple H said in episode 4, he's like, if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, they'd be roller derby. He's,
Probably because this
oh,
was
for
at
sure,
its, at
hundred
its
percent,
infancy, right?
hundred
Where
percent,
well, actually,
yes.
not only him. I mean, obviously,
I mean,
McMahon had a
Vince
lot to do with it
McMahon,
because
of
he
course,
he was the one who said, "Okay, now let's take all these the regions and let's bring it under one umbrella and
yeah,
really kind of
with the tape. I
big."
think he
But he
was,
still needed a marquee star. Now, could he have found someone
of
else
course,
beside him if he didn't exist? Would he have found someone else to propel it to where it is? You never know.
maybe,
Maybe. I mean,
maybe,
like I said,
maybe not. We
every
don't know.
every generation has a character. We have a Rock, right? I mean, the Rock was a shit, and he
Oh
still is
no,
to a
of
certain
course.
degree, right? Or
I
John
mean,
Cena,
John
or I mean,
Cena, Stone Cold. I mean, of course, but
yeah. So to
I
say
mean,
that because he was the first, it wouldn't have happened without him. No, but that he had because he was there, that he contributed to the success. Absolutely, there's no denying it, right? Everyone was Hulk, was kind of a Hulk.
of course, I mean, Hogan, he was huge back then, everywhere, right? He transcended the
Yeah,
sport. The first one to do it, of course, he was a star, not just a wrestling star.
yeah.
Obviously, he was on MTV and all the talk shows,
And a
movies.
very good movie star. Let's be honest, man. Those movies were.
Shitty.
I had Romeo and Rocky, where he played a wrestler who stretching his.
Uh,
The other movies, yeah.
you're expecting the greatness of Gremlins 2 and his great cameo in that movie. I just want to throw it out there, just be fair. Uh,
Sorry, my bad. My
Come
bad.
on. But listen, hey, listen, if you're a wrestling fan, it's a good walk down memory lane, but if you're younger.
No, no, no,
So,
no, no.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean,
I
listen,
could give you Bishop and Kevin Nash.
yeah, the
Uh,
impact. I mean, listen, you gotta. I mean, and I'll go back to this because they can always find. You mentioned they can find someone new, right? New Rock or whatever. It still goes back to Hulk Hogan because even when Hulk Hogan left WWE and wrestling was not good for a few years, WCW, which was dog shit at the time, they get Hogan. All of a sudden, they're destroying WWE, and WWE had to change gears, and that led to them
well. I mean, but that only happened until he decided,
to
or
turn back.
someone decided. Whether I don't know if it was him, but when they made him a heel, that's when they
Well,
took off,
but
and
that's what
then
I'm saying. But that was
that
what.
forced WWE to say, okay, we gotta up our game, right? They
Oh,
were stable. There's no competition. You get stale. You get comfortable, right? They came in,
mhm.
forced them to okay, because they were number one for 2 years for a while,
Yeah.
and then they said, well, we have to, either we're gonna become extinct or we gotta do something different and get up and literally hate them.
No, of course.
Then
But Hulk Hogan was if Hulk Hogan was not there during that time, the wrestling would have been roller derby again.
no, because he was they brought him in a character, but they were thought to make him a heel
Of
was
course, but I
utterly
only but
genius.
you could.
Something that people weren't
Of,
used to, right?
no, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. You could take Hulk Hogan, take any wrestler in that era, anyone, make him
No,
bad.
no, 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 no.
Nothing
It
happens, right?
wouldn't work because it had to be someone who
That's
who
what
had
I'm
that
saying.
cachet.
He was.
I mean, there's one thing, the one negative that really shook. He was fine for a long time.
Oh,
I mean,
of course,
physically.
yeah, he was
I
for a
mean,
while.
whether it's the steroids or the injuries or it
Age.
was just
Yeah.
like, yeah. I mean,
I mean,
yeah,
he wasn't a
great
wrestler.
walk.
He wasn't a good wrestler. He was a great personality. That's what it was, right? Let's be honest.
Well, I mean, at first he was technically a good
I
wrestler,
mean,
but I
he
think
was never
after the
like
injuries,
that guy. But
then you physically can't do the things you were known for, right? And the body just doesn't, it's
no, of
just
course,
can't do it.
no, obviously. But I mean, I guess it all goes back to Hogan, where he's most important, even more so than McMahon. Like you said, we didn't know if he would have found somebody because we had the guys. Ric Flair is awesome. Everyone loves Ric Flair. Stop.
Woo!
And he
We
was
still
on,
do.
but no one really knew who he was.
Yeah.
Right, and let's be. Hulk Hogan was the guy. So I'm saying I don't know if he would have found a guy like that to take it to the next level. I mean, find it hard to believe. I think wrestling again would have been roller derby. I agree completely with what Triple H said. But listen, again, for wrestling fans, it would be nice to have gone deeper into the controversies, but again, let's not dismiss and celebrate what he
Well, I mean,
accomplished as a wrestler at the same
I
time,
guess
right?
a more honest look, balance, not
Yes, of
just
course.
it's basically because basically this was a Hulk Hogan interview.
That's
Let
what it
him
was.
tell his
Yeah,
life.
of course.
Throw in some interviews
Yeah.
from other folks. Again, the fact that he passed away maybe changed the direction
It's
because you don't want to bash
possible. Yeah,
someone
yeah.
when they're dead. At least
That's
not
true.
that, and it was not even been a year. So
That's fair. That's
there's
fair. Yeah.
that line where like you really start bashing them.
No, no,
I mean,
for sure. They let let the body get let it rest in peace for a little bit, and then he can in a couple of years, I'm sure we're gonna get something else. I wouldn't be surprised. But no, you're right. You're right.
you contrast this with the Jerry West one, right? Again, he wasn't. I don't think he was controversial, but they really
They
showed some
dug
light
deep, sure. Yeah.
especially on his private life, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the his drive to be the greatest and the impact that had on on the rest. And basically, he just was just so possessed and could not let things go, and
Sure.
how that affected him, right? Even as whether as a GM or coach, whatever, and versus this one, where, he was, they kind of this, okay, yeah, let's talk, let him be front and center, but then throw in some other things that just to kind of make it appear balanced, and it really wasn't, right?
No, for sure.
But
It's a celebration of
it
Hogan.
was still entertaining
Yeah.
to watch.
It was, and
For parts.
again, it was a celebration of Hulk Hogan as a wrestler. At
Yeah.
the end of the day, right? So if you're a wrestling fan, you should definitely watch it for sure. Absolutely. The next one, HBO Half Man, a new series just starting, releasing one episode, limited series. This one is an interesting show. I guess we have a couple, I guess, of friends or whatever the case is who grew up.
I thought they were brothers. Obviously, they're not. But
They're not brothers. I mean, they're like. It's funny because I guess it starts off with that one of the guys, some other guys at a wedding, and the guy shows up and he starts beating him up, right? And it kind of just sparks his memory lane, and they start off 30 years in the past, when how they
yeah, when they're, I guess, high school or
high school or something, yeah. And one of them had to be a very troubled individual. I guess in a lot of trouble. He's very aggressive, and I guess the show kind of deals with that. I'm not sure where the show is going, to be honest with you. I assume it's going to be like a look into the codependency of each other, or whatever the case is.
Probably because obviously you that first flashback. I'm like, it seems. I I was like, they're almost like brothers, but like, damn, dude, this is like, holy cow.
Yes, interesting relationship, and that's what's going to keep me going. So I kind of want to see what happened there and what's going
Yeah.
on. So I actually enjoyed the first episode. I liked it. We'll see where it goes, but this is one I'm recommending. Chewy.
I recommend for now, but it's hard to go all in on just one episode, right?
No,
It did
exactly.
hook me,
Yeah,
but it was
yeah.
interesting enough where I want to
Correct.
see where the relationship goes. But I'm not sure if this is gonna be, if this is gonna be something that's gonna be satisfying. DTF, right?
Sure.
And it was not end up being was, and I'm not gonna spoil it if you haven't seen it yet. But so as a whole, maybe it was good. Individual parts,
Yeah.
mismatch of
Yeah, I agree.
genres.
And I think as far as DTF is concerned.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Is it just gonna be focused on the relationship and flashbacks? Looks like it, right? Because we're at the wedding, and we go back to teens, late teens, mid teens, and how fucked up this relationship is to me.
No, it is, and that's really interesting part about the show, right? Is that so?
The whole
Yeah.
where he brings the girl, whatever, call it what you want, girl, friend,
Whatever.
one night stand,
Yeah.
and that was so cringe, dude.
It really was. It was awkward, but it was so awkward. It's like, but in a good way. Like, okay, this is the kind of scenario. This is scenarios we're gonna get. Right.
This kid's awkward enough as it is,
Right.
And
But
this guy who's kind of like a viewed as a brother, older brother, maybe not to do this. I'm like, dude, there's some
That's
homoerotic things going on.
Exactly. We don't know
hinting at
exactly.
it, but I'm not really
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's that caught the attention and made it interesting. Let's see how they explore from now on. But for now,
Okay.
give it a shot for sure, right? You're right. This could
Yeah.
end up can go off the rails, no doubt. Next one, we got Stranger Things, Tales from '85 on Netflix. Of course, this was a animated prequel between season 2 and 3. Of course, with the gang, Hawksville, Hawkins. I'm sorry, Hawkins.
Hawkins, yeah.
Of course, the gang, 11 gang, Mike, and everybody else. This one, 10 episodes, about 25, 30 minutes a pop. Dealing with the story of, I guess, these new creatures that developed. Whatever. What are your thoughts on this one?
Because I don't know he's wrapped up, right? Um, and to give us something in between where characters that don't show up in the series, right, and monsters that aren't really mentioned at all in the series. So this was like, well, how do we squeeze the last dime out of this and not impact the series as a whole? And it's like, you can't, because you can't just say, it's not a prequel because it's
Right.
between seasons. So I like it, good animation, but in the overall story of Stranger Things, obviously it doesn't replicate the magic, right? Because
Yeah.
it's animated and it doesn't have that feel, that tone, and
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah.
it seems off when we watch Stranger Things. Some nostalgia, but it was scary and gritty and looked like it came from the '80s, right? And here's a nice animation with bright color. I'm like,
No,
yeah.
I'm not wasn't a fan. I gotta be honest, it's disappointed. And I said I hate these kind of a prequel, but because listen, there's no stakes. The
You
characters
know what?
we know they're gonna continue. The ones they introduced, to happen ultimately. But I don't know. It just didn't feel. Yeah, and in of itself, in the vacuum, since this is the first Stranger Things we've ever gotten, it just would have been okay. You
Yeah.
add up all these other fans, I get it, but
Look, if you want to
yeah,
watch in as far as it feel, all a series, so much
it's
better.
better. I'm not loving this for sure.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
loving that show
no, that's fine.
because
That's fair.
it's I know I said this. I want more Star Wars.
Yes, thank
Hopefully,
you.
hopefully we get that. But at least with this, and it was in the Clone Wars, and even at the end of Ahsoka a little bit.
Sure.
So there was a new there. It's really focusing on that. The action's great.
No, it's some cool stuff about the show. Yeah,
It's the pacing is really really good.
yeah.
Right, I get 2 episodes a week, and I was like, I want more. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much like this. I know Jerry, said it was just dog shit when we first heard about that, had no interest. I was like, oh, I'm interested, right? I like Maul. I mean, I really say,
Yeah, yeah,
since
and yeah,
since
that one's fine. Yeah,
what was the first one? Whatever movie came
Phantom
out,
Menace.
Phantom Menace, and it was like the most popular thing of that movie, probably the best thing of that
The only good
movie.
thing about them when you think about it. No, it's
Yeah.
just a fun show. I enjoyed it. I don't think it's great, but it's fun. It feels very Clone Wars still to me.
Hey man, hey, we have Escobar, Pablo Escobar
That's
voicing
true,
this kid.
Escobar, and that's always a good thing.
Whoever more, sorry.
Apparently, Pedro Pascal, wasn't available to do the show. Um,
Stop it.
he's a token Latino guy for anything. Apparently, there's only one guy.
Oh wow, dude,
I'm
come
just saying,
on.
I mean, can we just saying, can we mix up a little bit? That's all I'm saying, dude. He's all over HBO, all over Disney Plus. He's all over Marvel now. Like, come on, let's just hone it back. Star Wars. Just saying, there's other Latinos out there. Come on, give our brother a chance for Christ's sake. But yeah, that show's definitely better than this. This is disappointing, to be honest with you. Next one up. My thing's a little off here. My apologies. Is Running Point on Netflix season 2. Kate Hudson here was playing that genie bus role. For those familiar with basketball and the LA Lakers, is basically a take on that. He's trying to run the organization. A lot of pitfalls, including her brother who ran it, who was kicked out because of drug use. He's back in the show now. I wasn't a fan of season 2. I really didn't. I know this show people like, so Chew, your thoughts?
No, like I said, it brings in some comedy, some serious comedy, right? Some satire. Jumbles it all together in the blender, and this is what you kind of get, right? With the semi-understanding, this is very, very light comparison to the Bus family, right?
Right.
Of the Lakers ownership. I mean, like I said, there's probably nowhere near what this goes to.
No,
Some of
of
the
course not.
characters are literally that they're caricatures, not
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah.
But there's enough there, enough laughs that I'm enjoying it. Right, like I said, it does rely heavily on the silly type of humor and one-liners a little bit. Um, but you know, short of that, I mean,
Actually, every band, I think it's a husband or ends up dying in
I
Australia.
don't know.
Killing Leslie. It was an accidental death.
You see, my
Whatever for it. No. On a month's line of Hank, I think she's going to. Every band that was from Australia. Either way, she's on her own, doing her own adventure, and she who happens to be Sirius, who they're traveling around like a hunt, and she has to traverse the dangerous surroundings of this part of the area of Australia. Chew, your thoughts on this film?
I want my hour and a half. This is the obviously Netflix has done historically, we say 60% of movies are and I think they've done matured and putting out better movies, but this is one that's back in that bucket. Do not waste your time. It was boring, and it was like I stopped paying attention. Characters were flat. There was just not a whole lot there to talk about. This is, I think the last movie we saw on Netflix. What was the last one that was in November?
I know the Ben Affleck one came out kind of recent.
That
No,
was
wait,
action.
the one with Reacher.
Oh yeah, the one that's
Yeah,
that's
that
right.
was entertaining.
With
That's entertaining.
Battlefield.
Alien invasion.
But
film.
even that was entertaining.
But
right?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, it wasn't great, but it was entertaining for sure. Yeah, this one here. Yeah,
And
whatever.
this
This is a really. But at the same time, I'm not gonna say anybody out there like watch this. And at the end of the day, they deserve better than this for sure. So they're kind of wasted. It's an
the
hour
series,
and a half.
the two movies, right?
Yeah, they've done
Yeah.
tons of other stuff. Yeah, it just didn't quite work.
Yeah, and
You're right.
go back to Apple Plus too.
Yeah, right. That was, Theron, hey, you done a lot of stuff. Ogar 3. So yeah, so whatever. It was, I don't know. It was. You're right. It was very tight when it gets going.
30 minutes of an hour. You're like,
The cat mouse thing, whatever, and then you find out what he's really doing. I was like, okay, whatever. It was kind of weird. So yeah, an hour and a half, even free on Netflix. There's other stuff to watch for sure. There's always other stuff to watch, and there's stuff coming out next week. Not a lot. Next week's actually a good week to catch up. There's a lot of ongoing shows simultaneously now. There's the 8 shows on Apple Plus, and there's The Boys and all this stuff going on, Hacks, and there's a lot of stuff on. There's a nice good break this week. Again, so not a lot, but we got 3 things coming out. First one, Apple Plus. I'm sorry, not Apple Plus. We got Widow's Bay on Apple Plus. It is Apple Plus. On the 29th, we got House.
which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah,
So,
show that there's a chance to breathe. We appreciate that. 20th, we on fire. This I'm looking forward to, of course. The movie, what's this guy? Oh my God, I forgot his name.
with Denzel Washington,
Denzel
from the
Washington,
90s, yes.
Yeah, disrespectful of me.
Which I never saw, so I'm kind of coming Kept this
That
fresh.
movie's great. Like I love that movie. It's so good. It's a great revenge movie. It really is. So I'm looking forward to do with this and stretching it out in this as a series. We'll see if it works as good as the movie did. But that one's coming out on the 30th as well. Like I said, a lot of stuff going on. Apple Plus, that's like again a lot of show. The Boys is still doing what the
Now,
Boys
for all
does.
mankind, we still have.
For All
I think Monarch
Mankind,
wraps up
Mark's
this week,
finishing up.
so that
Your
finishes
friends,
up.
yeah, your friends and
Monarch's
neighbors.
actually a lot better than last season, honestly.
Oh, for sure, yeah, 100%.
With the
Yeah,
especially the
yeah,
story integration from
yeah,
the various movies and the
yeah.
timelines, and so look, really enjoying that.
Yeah,
Right.
your friends and neighbors season two's been really good as
Oh
well.
my God, man, that is
Yeah,
so good,
yeah,
dude. Yeah.
and it's not what I expected either. As far I thought like something different,
No,
but yeah,
no,
which is
no,
good. Which is
no.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying that a lot. So listen, there's a lot of good stuff on there. Obviously the Boys and